Happy new day, everybody. How are you? And welcome to Spiritually Raw. We hope you woke to the most miracle morning and are also having the most fortunate day today. And guess what? You cannot heal anyone. We'll find out what that actually means with Mystic Jeannine Kim. She's here, our soul sister, to hang out with us today, to give her interpretation of what she's been learning in this journey in life. So to help us all out, right? So it's pretty cool when we bring great guests like Jeannine. We got a great opportunity to chat with her before the show. You're going to love the vibe. All of her links will be in the description below, so do check her out. And April's going to tell you more about Jeannine in a second. Just remember, don't forget, you can watch this on Roku, obviously on SpirituallyRAW.
Amazon Fire is coming up around the bend very quickly. And for those of you that have not connected with us yet on Telegram, please do so. All of our links are in the show description. And from wherever you're watching this show, we would greatly appreciate it if you would hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and kindly share the show. We would be very grateful. Okay, enough about that. Let's get this show on the road. Jeannine Kim, she says, you cannot heal anyone. And a few other tried and true, yet a bit against the grain, according to Jeannine. She is a former IPO trader, which is initial public offering trader of 10 years, turned mystic. She's a healer, astrologer, a medium, a yogi, and a holistic health practitioner of 23 years. Now, before I go any further, all of her links are in this description. I cannot begin. I actually said to Jay, look at all of her certifications. I could not even begin to listen. They take up a whole page. So believe me, she's been around the block and she has a tremendous amount of experience. For over 23 years, she's offered healing, wisdom, guidance, and support to her clients worldwide. She's an intuitive reader, medium, 5D astrologer. Let me repeat that. She's a 5D astrologer, certified yoga instructor, Reiki, and certified holistic health practitioner. She teaches practical steps to access our intuitive selves in every moment and empowers others to their own sovereignty. Welcome to the show. We are super excited to have you today.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
You're so welcome. So this is a new one. You used to be an IPO trader. So how did this transition happen? What was the cause of the transition?
I did. It was a long way home. I took a little scenic route on the way back to myself. Well, first of all, I was really born this way, intuitive, empathic. But, you know, when you're younger, and I was born in the 60s, late 60s, grew up in the 70s and 80s, like who gets to reflect that back to you, right? So I moved out fairly young in my late teens, and I needed to survive. And so I'm really good with numbers and I love them, which is later what led me to astrology. But meantime, I dipped my toe in the financial industry, and I became Series 7, Series 63 registered along the way. And all that time in the 90s, I was secretly reading, you know, Shirley MacLaine books and Gary Zukov and Andrew Weil and Prevention Magazine, if anybody can remember those. And it was just so in alignment with who I was on the inside. And I was really deep in my yoga practice, you know, in the high rise in Chicago, going to work every day. But that was my passion. And before you know it, the inside started to kind of overflow, and it just didn't match the external anymore. And plus I was getting messaging, what I know now is messaging from the universe, where every place that I went to, it was like I did such a great job, but then I was let go, and an assistant was taking my place for less money. Like something was always saying, no, keep moving, not here. And I refused to listen because I wanted the money. I needed the money. I was good at it, you know, and, but then I finally said, I can't do it anymore. And I started to go to school at night for massage therapy and became Reiki trained. And then my last stop, Solomon Smith Barney in San Diego, I let it go. And I got rid of all my clothes, got my nose pierced. And this is, of course, like late 90s, early 20s, wasn't allowed. And I knew I could not go back. And so that was it. I dove in and I never went back.
No regrets?
Did your family think you were losing it?
Completely. Still do. It's taken all these years. I have a couple of them that are more easy with it because I've supported them in some of their journey, but others just think I'm full on lost.
So
Right.
As you there's a lot to cover with you, and I want to just kind of hit on some of the points here. So a couple of things that stand out, as April was saying, you know, you've got a lot of knowledge that you've obtained in this world, if you would, let's call it the 5D astrologer. So talk to me a bit about that, if you could. So there's astrology, right? And then there's what I just heard is the 5D astrologer. What's differentiating that from normal astrology?
Right. Well, there's two main things, and I won't go too deep into it, but just an umbrella, like an overview. 3D astrology, or the traditional that we've been steeped in for thousands of years, moves around the zodiac in a certain way. It goes counterclockwise for the most part, right? When you're reading the chart. And in 5D astrology, they pose it differently, where it's like it looks like an actual clock, and it goes clockwise. And so one of the premises there is that, you know, when we're coming down into this earth plane, into those karmic gravity boots of polarity, the 3D, 4D existence, we're kind of like, it's like the Fibonacci spiral, a strand of DNA. It kind of goes down into the earth. But then when we're beginning to ascend and we're starting to get a higher vision, more objective, we're coming back up. And so it goes the other way. And that's part of the 5D perspective, is that we're reading the actual chart a little differently. Your sun sign is the same, your rising sign is the same, the moon is the same, but it's the way we work with the chart. And the other component is that there are planetary structures, trans-Neptunian objects, asteroids, things like this, that are beyond the wisdom of our ancestors. So it's meaning outside of like Mercury, Venus, Mars, you know, even Pluto, Neptune, those weren't found till a little bit later. Some astrologers don't use it, but 5D focuses on Pallas Athena, like these asteroids that are out there. Pallas Athena, who's the goddess of fairness, Zeus's daughter, patterning, and there's tons of others, but we use that to say, you know what, this is what you're capable of. This is what you're capable of downloading, of accessing about yourself. The archetypal wisdoms, they're in you, doing these things to support you, but you have to be able to hear the subtleties of them to access them. And so how do we do that? Is we get in and we listen internally a bit more. Yes.
So just like astrology, Jeannine, is the 5D astrology, is there just like a right time kind of thing like that? Like there's a perfect, you know, like with astrology, there's always okay, this is the window to do stuff, or don't do it on this area. Is the same principles apply there?
My mind went crazy, April, because I went, okay, this could help anybody with where they have damage in their body. And if you just let that sink in, it is so profound.